We were never rattled, ever. Because we're always in the moment, always in the present, always extremely calm, always looking at the reality of the situation and not letting our emotions cloud our execution. I switch my mind to something else, switch my mode into something else. Stone cold killer. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me. For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time.
Up before the dawn, ready for Judgment Day. A lethal underdog, walking on to make 'em pay. Woke up feeling dangerous. That stuff so contagious. We got 10 toes down, so let the haters say what they say.
If you ain't Argent Brown, you don't matter anyway. Woke up feeling dangerous. That stuff. We got that dog check. Found it away. You make the right bet. If you're doubting our game, we give our last breath. One more play, and we'll make another name. We're ready for Judgment Day. Against the world. My city is on the brink. Tonight we're about to go. I'm hearing the crowd begin to rise in stereo. Sky's bringing Armageddon in off the lake. Thunder rolls. And all the people shouting out a name. Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. Cleveland against the world. Watch my city rock. Feel my city roll. Watch my city rock. We go Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. We are Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. Every boy and girl. Against the world. Here we go, Brownies, here we go.
17 seconds.
What is going on, guys? It is Christmas Browns.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. We do have Mike. He's going to be joining us here in a second. He's getting some audio set up. We got new microphones in the studio. Mike got a new one. I got a new one. Both Mikes got new mics. Ba-dum-bum ching. It is Christmas time, and we are getting ready for the game here.
Just had a fantastic meal. We are stuffed to the gills, including I had dessert already. So I am just ready to get upstairs to the media room, get the big screen open, and just lounge back and enjoy the game.
Yeah, guys, really quick, everybody in chat, Andrew Walters, Isaiah Gassina, Wolfstam, B Skrills, Hambone, Xander, who else we got here? Schlegel, Sarah, Mids, BCI, Gabe, Bulldog, Cleveland Ethan, Mark Schoen. Let's Go Fishing TV is in the house. Mike, hope you're doing well, bud. Saw the updated picture. Merry Christmas to you guys. All right, guys. So we're waiting for Rastano to get his audio going. So thank you very much. Thanks, John, for the text. Appreciate it. Yeah. So we're rocking and rolling. It's T-minus 45 minutes till the game time. We're in Lambeau Field. Baker's active. Jarvis is active. Miles, I'm assuming. I'm waiting for Mike to confirm this, but I'm assuming Miles is good. And yeah, Mary, hello. David Smith, hello. Brendan, everybody, welcome. Hope everybody's Christmas is fun. We've got we both got a bunch of Brown stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a big Browns Christmas for us. Hey, new member Hambone, back in the house. Hambone, thank you very much, man. You're back in the member chair. Congrats. Thank you for tier 1ing. Miles is active. All right. Good to hear. That's awesome. We have a big game today. I think Big Play Dave said that if we win this game and the next two, we have a 97% chance to make the playoffs. So this is an important game. Like, we are still playing relevant football in December. Basically, these are playoff games for us every game. Dad, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts going into this one?
It's a big one. It doesn't get any bigger than this. We have to win. We can't come out with too conservative a game plan. I hope. Leave everything on the field today. Baker's hasn't practiced in 2 weeks, so he's got to be rusty, but he's pretty good. He should be able to handle it, especially if Stefanski comes up with short drops, short passes, screen plays, draw plays. Chubb runs the ball. Don't try to win it on Baker's back, knowing that he hasn't even played in 2 weeks. I hope he's smarter than that. I hope they devise it. I hope we don't fall behind. Packers could, jump up 14-0 before we even turn around. So our defense has got to show up. They got to play. They got to play tough. They got to put pressure on them. And if they do that, I think it's going to be a good game. It'll be competitive. And on any given Sunday, Saturday, whatever, we can win. We got the talent, and it's just a question of, can we put 4 quarters together? I did go back over the last game after listening to Mike and Mike on Wednesday, go over, what we should have done, what we could have done as far as the end of the game last week against the Raiders. I looked at the game. I looked at the last series and the series before that. And yeah, clearly if we get a first down, we win. There's 2 ways to approach it. You can run the ball like we did to make them use up the timeouts, which we did. And they, before the 2-minute warning, so that they at least had that as well. That strategy didn't work because we didn't make it on 3rd down. But if you watched the 2 plays that we ran, and the plays in the series before that, we were making 3 or 4 or 5 yards on carries left and right. So it was a decent call to go 3rd and 4 to the right side. They plugged it up and they stopped it. Conversely, if you had looked at it the other way and been more aggressive and said, okay, we need to get a first down. We're going to pass it on every down. I don't care about the timeouts. I don't care about stopping the clock. That's not really the issue. The issue is we need to get 1 or 2 first downs. And if you give yourself 3 chances by passing the ball versus we only had 1 chance on 3rd and 4, that was the only chance we had to make the first down, and we didn't. And we were so deep in our own end that we couldn't go for it on 4th down. That would have been crazy. We didn't get a very, excellent punt or anything. So they started with good field position, and it was just, history. You give a team like that and a quarterback like that enough time, which was, I don't know, a minute and some odd seconds with no timeouts. All they had to do was get in field goal range, and they had a great kicker who kicked it twice, even though we iced him, unlike our kicker. So not that we deserved to lose, but clearly if we had played better in the first half, it shouldn't have been that close. We should have been up by a touchdown or 2 or 10 points, and that we shouldn't have been in the position to lose it the way we did. Having said that, okay, we can make up for it by winning today. And it puts us right back in the same position as having won last week and lost this week, and makes the 2 ending games critical for us. But obviously we have to get past today. And it's going to be a good game. It's going to be tough. I think the guys will come out. They're going to fight. Just a question of how rusty is Baker going to be. And we won't know that until we look at the first and second quarter.
Mike, welcome. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Wow. Well,
We got
so
you,
much
Mike.
for
We
the
got
new-
you. What are your thoughts going into this one?
Well, first thoughts is I hooked up this whole new getup, and remotely, might I add, and no such luck. So at least I was able to get on here, sort of caveman, if you will, for what we do. But anyway, so yeah, it's a big one. Baker's back. He looked ready getting on the plane. I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram earlier.
Yeah, I
but
saw that.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. So it should be a good game, I think. I know a lot of people are thinking it's going to be a blowout, and I don't know. I don't feel that way. I know Clowney's out, Tack got hurt. You're out Newsome and JJ3. But I mean, they showed last week that they've got plenty of depth at safety, I think, and Greedy is more than capable. I think you do lose something on the outside. You hope Porter Gustin can come in and give you a little bit of pressure. And to be honest with you, I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think it's all going to come down to how healthy is Myles Garrett. There's no David Bakhtiari today, so how hurt is that groin? I think if he's more 75, 85%, I think we're okay. If he's struggling, I think it's going to be it might be tough sledding as far as getting the pass rush.
Yeah, I think that Myles, even if Myles was, if this was a normal week, like let's say this is week 4, I don't know if we see Myles today. I think he probably rests and tries to get better for the coming weeks. But because everything's on the line right now, we have nothing. If we lose this game, it's basically lights out unless the rest of the AFC North collapses, which again is also possible. But I mean, we're really, really shooting ourselves in the foot if we don't win. I mean, we had to win 3 of the last 4, and then we lost the first one, which now puts us behind the 8 ball. And now we have to go into an away game in a tough place to play in cold weather, which we're used to, but cold weather in Green Bay and cold weather in Cleveland's a little bit different. And we're playing the best team in the NFL, and we're playing the best quarterback arguably in the NFL today in terms of production and what he's doing at this moment. We're not talking about Tom Brady's body of work. I'm talking about right now, today. What do we got? There really isn't. I mean, you could make an argument for some other guys, but I'd be taking Aaron Rodgers all day. He's number 1. So we're facing the hardest competition with the best quarterback in their home field. And we also went another week where we didn't practice all together in person with the head coach and our starting quarterback. And then we lost our other defensive end, and we're losing guys left and right. I mean, it's like we're a skeleton crew. We've lost a lot of players, and we basically have to have a perfect game today in order to have a chance to win. I think we can make it close, but honestly, I'm glad Chase McLaughlin's not out there, because that guy couldn't kick. He couldn't kick himself out of anything right now. So we needed to make a move. And the interesting thing, I think, when we make these switches at kicker and punter, at least for the first 5-6 games, they're lights out. They're good to go. Real quick, Hambo's here. I gave him a shout out already. Gary Washington in the house. Mick the Dog, Browns fan 1977, Mr. Roll Up. We got a bunch of the OGs in the house today. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you very much for being here, hanging out with us. We're going to take you up pretty close to kickoff, since is it on
4:30
national TV though? Or it's not NFL channel? Yeah. So national TV. So we got no stress dealing with streaming or any of that jazz. Yeah. I mean, in terms of these next 3 games, Mike, I want to throw this to you first. Do you think that Baker is they're still kind of testing to see how he's going to play out these last 3 games, and that's going to have any decision making on whether they bring in somebody on the in free agent to challenge or drafting a quarterback, or do you think it really doesn't matter and he's our guy next year no matter what?
Yeah. So first off, Mr. Rollup, I never even gave my prediction yet, but you know me well, and I don't think I've ever picked against us this year. But I mean, that's all part of it. But we'll see what my prediction is at the end. But as far as Baker, yeah, I think that next year you run it back, and I know we talked about it on the Wednesday show. We really need a number 1 receiver, and there's so many of them and so many good ones in the first round next year. And I just can't see, them giving up capital to move up in the first round, because, they're going to be down in the low teens, 20s. So you would give too much up to start again. I think, they'll run it back. We'll see what a healthy Baker looks like with let's say a Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, or Burks down in Arkansas is a really solid receiver, and it's supposed to be one of the top draws rather. I can't talk. I got my Bloody Mary, so it's tongue tying me a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, to answer your question, I think we definitely go back to Baker. But an interesting thing, and I don't know if you saw this earlier, and obviously, I mean, we know what it's like to be hit by the COVID bug, and it's not fun. But I don't know if you guys saw, or anybody in the chat, but so Lamar hasn't practiced all week. He's probably definitely not playing. They just haven't designated him yet for the out. And then Huntley was just put on the COVID list. So
okay, so now who are they down to? Is it Marty McSorley again?
I think it might be Marty McSorley, and he better get his hoverboard out, because I mean that's going to be tough sledding. So I mean, you never want to wish anything on anybody, and that's not obviously what we're saying. But if we're not without our guys on Thursday, I mean, there's no doubt we win that game, and this game is just a Christmas game. Hope we win. If we don't, whatever. We're on the Pittsburgh. But now with that development, now, and again, I'm not giving my prediction yet, but if you could squeak one out today, I think you're looking good. But at the same time, it all depends on what everybody else is going to do. And now with this development with the Ravens, you can lose this game today and go to Pittsburgh, take care of business, and then you're home against the Bengals, and who knows, you might be playing for the division. So the one thing I can say, and I think you both will agree with me, is that if we go back and look at these recordings from 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. I mean, we thought we were dead in the water, and then every time we think that, it's like there's a new scenario that not only can we make the playoffs, but we could win. We could win the North. So I think that it's going to be an interesting 3 weeks of football, guys. I could tell you that much.
Let's hope it's 3 weeks of football, because if we lose today, I don't think it's 3 weeks. I think it's over. But let's hope we get 2 more weeks after this one. Who do we want to win? The Bengals play the Ravens tomorrow?
Oh, today?
Tomorrow
at 1, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow at 1. Who do we want to win? Do we want the Ravens to win because we have a game against the Bengals? That they're in front of us. So
Well, you got to figure this, because we lost twice to the Ravens. So I think we
Once to the Ravens.
What's that?
1-1 and 1-1, 1-0 so far.
Okay, so and then we're
Ravens.
0-1 against the Steelers. So I mean, we have a chance to split every game. I mean, or if we beat the Bengals twice, and then the Steelers we split, then I don't know how the tiebreakers work. To be honest, I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you take care of the Bengals in 2 weeks, I mean, we obviously have the tiebreaker there, and they're playing somebody else tough down the stretch. I got to look at their schedule.
But as far as the game tomorrow, I guess we're rooting for the Bengals to win, to knock
that's
the
the way I'm-
Ravens down, because we play the Bengals at the last game, hoping they
Yes,
lose
you're
in
right.
between.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
that's the
what you're
scenario.
hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need Bengals to win, which is looking good if they're going with Marty McSorley. And then we've got then they play the Chiefs. Hopefully they'll get everybody back off the COVID list against the Chiefs. And then we play them at home January 9th, possibly for the division. With this cluster F of a season, we could end up still competing to win the division.
Yeah.
It's pretty unbelievable.
Going back to Miles, my thought would be, at the end of the game last week, he was hurt, and you've heard me week in and week out from day one, the first game of the season, the guys have got to protect the edge. And Miles and Clowney, they give up the edge because they want to sack the quarterback. They want to get that recognition for that. They go all out to the outside, all out to the inside, and teams take advantage of running the edge on them. I think with Miles being 75% today, I don't think you're going to see him, 100% of the time rush the passer. I think he's going to protect himself as well as the edge.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be watching him pretty close to see how many times he actually goes full out to try to get him, and how many times he just stays, goes up, protects the edge, or maybe to the inside a little bit and puts his hands up, because he's a big guy with his hands up, make the guy throw over him. And so he can be effective that way as well. He doesn't have to get the sacks. 1 sack a week is maybe it's great for recognition, but it doesn't win games unless it's in a super, super critical situation. Not giving up the edge time after time after time for 10 yards, 5 yards, 20 yards. That's important. So he's going to be interesting to watch today, and that's what I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching Baker coming back, not having practiced, having some time where he could relax and possibly heal, or at least maybe feel a little bit better. Is that good for him, or is he going to come back rusty?
Wonder if he got out there this morning and started throwing balls, just to get some reps in with some of the guys, get his timing down a little bit, rather than just go into the game and at 3:30 and be cold and try to warm up then. I would have tried to, get something in at least this morning after breakfast, just to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure he's out there warm. He's probably very loose at this point now. What's the
To be
weather?
very healthy as well.
What's the weather looking like?
I looked at it earlier in the week. Not too bad. little bit on the cold side. Didn't look like there was a lot of wind.
36. It's 36 degrees right now, and then it's gonna dip down to 32 by probably towards the end of the game. So it's
might
cold.
snow. We might get flurries by the end of the game, third quarter into the fourth.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one.
I don't think the weather's going to be a factor. It's going to be, can you hit the guys? Can the guys make their cuts? Can they hold on to the ball and not drop the ball in key situations? Can we get them off the field, get Rodgers off the field, minimize his possessions, catch a turnover? I mean, God, we got a great turnover at the end of the game last week, and we couldn't even get a first down to ice the
and they've
game.
come on too.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they've come on in terms of. I mean, the cupboard was bare in the early part of the season, and past 3-4 weeks, I mean, they're getting turnovers. It's just a matter of can the offense capitalize on it. Like you said last week, had one in a key spot, and we couldn't convert and ice the game.
should
So,
have locked it up.
yeah, absolutely.
Guys, we have a couple things going on. Head over to dogwoofs.com. You can see it right underneath Mike, right down there. You head over to dogwoofs.com and get signed up for the drawing today. We're giving away a Cleveland Clothing Co. t-shirt here in a couple minutes. So in order to enter, you got to put your name into dogwoofs.com, then I'm going to pull the drawing. Sabo Apparel, that's coming from. They're friends of the show. They've been very kind to us basically the entire time we've had a channel going, giving us t-shirts to give away each week. So head over to saboapparel.com. Buy some stuff if you happen to be in the market for cool Cleveland-based apparel. But also we're going to be giving away shirts. So dogwoofs.com is where you get that. And, we're actually we're helping out with a GoFundMe for Mike McFadden. Mike's a guy on Twitter. A lot of you guys know, used to be the community manager for the EA Madden game for many years. And he unfortunately had an accident where somebody hit him off his bike in a hit and run, and pretty massive injuries and massive bills. So I put the link in there. I'm going to put the link in there again for everybody. If you happen to be in the giving mode today, tossing him a couple bucks to help out is really going to be.
He's got a lot to go through beyond where he is today. They reconstructed a lot of stuff, but
yeah,
he's still got a lot to go through, a lot of pain, and his insurance covers a lot of it, but doesn't cover everything. So the more money we can raise through Mike's, GoFundMe, it's just taking a big load off of his mind, knowing that he's got this extra money to be able to pay his bills.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're up to $6,100 right now.
Nice.
And we're trying to raise 15 grand for him. So, beyond everything, because I mean, there's a lot of bills that go into medical stuff that you don't even feel. And if your insurance is going to cover it, it really is kind of terrible. So, it'd be awesome if anybody could help out with that from Brownie Post Game. It'd be awesome. So we've got a couple minutes left. Let me head over to.
What was your prediction, Mike? You didn't give us your prediction.
I'll go back and forth on it. Right at the end, I'll do it.
All right.
Because I know the score, but I don't know who. I'm going back and forth on it. So, I mean, Mr. Rollup's probably right. So I'm sure we know which way it's probably going to go.
You're not guaranteeing this one?
No, there's no guarantee today. Hey, speaking of which, totally a little bit off subject, maybe not. Do you guys remember, because I don't, and I've been racking my brain trying to figure it out, and I don't remember when they ever said he had a positive test, but I don't remember when Kareem Hunt went on the COVID list. We knew that he had the ankle injury and he wasn't playing because of that, but he keeps showing up on the COVID list, and I do not remember seeing him get added. Do you guys? I don't.
I that's what I was wondering. I was like, are we get Kareem back at some point? I mean, it didn't seem like it was going to be that long, but I mean, how many weeks has it been now? Like 4 or 5?
No, well, he got hurt on the 12th or whatever, the weekend I was there for the Ravens. He got hurt, but he was supposed to come back the next week. If you remember, they said if he could have went in, if they needed him, he could have went in, but then it turned into, we had an MRI and it was a little bit more serious, so we're going to rest him. and then we didn't hear anything, and then mysteriously he wound up on the COVID list. But I don't remember ever seeing him added. You know what I mean? Like
No, yeah, I don't
and I
remember. I don't remember any reports like Hunt's been added to it. Even when I was doing the jersey thing, he wasn't on. He like in the big wave where 25 or 28% of our team was positive. Like he wasn't on that list.
no,
So
I never.
is he
Yeah,
positive now? That's what they're saying.
yeah. I mean, they're every time when they talk about the actives and inactives, they've had him listed on the COVID list. Now, at first, I thought it was an error, but every time it's not just one or two of the beat writers. It's everybody when they post their who's out, or I should say who's still on on the list with COVID. He's like at the top of the list, but I'm telling you, I do not remember him ever being added, or at least us being made aware of it. I guess I should say it was always the ankle, and then out of nowhere he wound up on the COVID list, and that was just peculiar to me.
Where's Batonio going to play today?
Good question. I wonder if I'd probably just run it back,
Yeah,
as they did last week.
great.
Yeah, and I know you were probably mad at us on Wednesday because we barely went into the PFFs, if at all, and that's only because we were excited for Christmas. But Batonio was the highest ranked Brown at 91.5, I think, PFF score. So yeah, I mean him and Dunn on that left side, I like it.
Yeah.
And they should have liked it because they were 4 for -3 going to the right side, and 10 for 68 or something like that going to the left side, 3rd and 3, no rollout, no bootleg, and we run to the side that were 4 carries for -3 yards. So
Right.
I don't know if they were trying to surprise him or not, but didn't
I
work
think if
out.
Stefanski was there calling the plays, I think he would have called something more aggressive on 2nd down, something more aggressive on 3rd down. Try to keep it in your hands, and you control your destiny, as opposed to punting it away and hoping your defense not you got to hold them to less than a field goal. Field goal you lose, so you got to hold them to beyond the 50-yard line. The one he made the second time would have been good from 55, 60 yards out. So I mean the kid had a leg and he was very accurate. Didn't ice him. Didn't phase him at all. And so, but if we make the 1st down, we put so much pressure on them, and certainly if we had a 4-point lead, they would have had to score a touchdown. But we can't go back and redo that again. But so we'll see.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. I think that if he was calling plays, I think he would have gotten aggressive, especially on 2nd down. And I mean, you look across the league at the Andy Reids of the world and the McVays, etc. Any of those guys, if they were in that situation, they're going to throw the element of surprise at you, because I mean everybody was expecting Chubb to run, and like Mike and I talked about on Wednesday, I mean if you look at this run game the past 4 or 5 weeks, I mean it's not as rosy as everybody would like you to believe. It's we've been struggling.
Well, here's the other thing too. I think one of the reasons why we're struggling is because it's not that Nick Chubb isn't a fantastic back, or maybe one of the best, if not the best running back in the league. But when you're putting 8 or 9 guys in the box, at some point it doesn't really matter. It's NFL size, speed, strength bodies in the way, and there's only so many of your guys who can block them, and it's going to be difficult. And then you match that with the fact that we don't have the 1-2 punch anymore. With where, I mean, not to say Dearness isn't a very qualified back, but he doesn't scare teams. He's not a home run threat, so to speak, like Kareem Hunt is, that you have to respect him both in the run and from a screen pass and take it to the house perspective, right?
And he did. Chubb did have the one run that got us the lead, only to be called back for I guess a holding penalty or a shift penalty, whatever. And luckily we scored when Mullins hit Bryant, for the touchdown on fourth down. Otherwise, we wouldn't have even had that glimpse of hope at the end of the game. So we had it in our grasp, and I think if Stefanski had been there, he might have been a little bit more aggressive. If I'm the interim coach, I'm playing it by the book. I'm running it 3 times, and then I'm punting it and hoping for the best, and then nobody can really blame me for blowing the game. Like Baltimore did the last 2 weeks, where they went for the 2-point conversion and lost both times, and they wound up losing the game. He's not getting that much criticism for making those 2 calls. So I think the coach was just being a little bit too conservative there at the end.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope, and we've seen it all year, and it drives us all crazy, but let's hope that we don't have another crucial 3rd down and 2, 3rd down and 3, whatever, and we decide to run and get to the line of scrimmage, and they've overloaded the side we're running to, and instead of audibling to go the other way, and as we know, they don't audible, they call 2 plays and can and rewind, and that's what you go with. But at least if I beg of them right here on our podcast, that if you have a run going to the overloaded side and you have timeouts left and it's in a crucial position, please call a timeout and figure something else out. Because how many plays have we just given up on this year, where we just run into an overloaded side and it's like waving
it's
a white
tough.
flag.
It's like an incomplete pass and the clock keeps going.
Right.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
we have
the running game going, then the play action will make that much more difference for Baker to give him that 1 split second, half a second, a little bit more time to go through his reads and make the right read, as opposed to, it's not like our guys aren't open. He's just reading the wrong guy to throw it to, double coverage or tight coverage or whatever. And so all those things add up and in sequence. So hopefully we're able to do that.
Yeah. We've got, guys, we have 4 minutes, a little less than 4 minutes on the giveaway. 25 total entries so far at dogwoofs.com. It's right there in the middle. Let's see if we have any 30 total entries. I'm sorry. Had 5 more come in the last couple of minutes. So get yourself entered in Dog Woof. We're going to be pulling it at 4:18. Then we're probably going to get out of here so we can start. Everybody can head over to the TV and start getting going. DC, what's going on? Mr. Roll Up, what's going on, dude? Just hope everybody had a good, happy holiday. Happy Christmas. I know the last couple of days leading up to this, with Mike and I in the Wednesday show hanging out, and then getting to spend time with friends and family if you can, during this pandemic, still year 2. Just make sure everybody stays safe, be happy. If we get a win, that's awesome. If we don't, hey, we've lived through worse seasons, guys. A season of letdown or disappointment is, in my mind, much better than a season of, like, we're out of it by October.
I think I mentioned this last week. If we do lose this game, and you're sort of wondering, how do I feel and where should I root for Baker or against Baker, whatever, just go back to the first game of the year and watch the Kansas City game again, and watch the way we started with a healthy both sides of the ball and a Baker motivated. I mean, he drove him down the field 3 times in a row in the first half and scored touchdowns, including a 2-point conversion. So, I mean, that is the way we started the season. That's the capability of Baker, healthy with a good team around him. I don't think Odell played much of a part, if any, in that game.
He didn't play.
Yeah, so I mean, if we can get a good wide receiver next year to make up for some of our losses, that would be great. But that would be encouraging to watch just that first half and then stop. Don't watch the second half. Just watch the first half.
Yeah, and I mean, we played Kansas City tough. We've played Baltimore tough. We played the Chargers tough. We've played good teams tough. I don't think it doesn't. There's nothing that says to me today that we're gonna be bullied. I mean, if we were rolling with the team we rolled out last week, I'd be like, it ain't gonna be good, guys. But the fact that we have pretty much are as much of the healthy team as possible at this point, or whatever level of health that they have. We're going to be competitive. And if we make some kicks, they miss some kicks, we get some breaks that happen our way. Look out. Like, we could shock the world here. I think we have a chance to win. And if we win, it's going to be something like, my prediction will be, I'm going to say 24-21.
Yeah, I watched
You got?
all the talking heads this morning, and the one channel had 4 of them on there making the predictions. 3 of them picked Packers, which was an easy pick, and 1 picked the Browns, but all the picks were close. 27-24, 24-21, 21-17. So, I mean, nobody was going to, blowing us away with a, 35-7 type of win. They all expect it to be close, to be competitive. And in those circumstances, anything can happen. Whoever gets the breaks, whoever takes advantages of the turnovers, that's the situation. And we just haven't done that very well towards the end of the game. We've been good in the beginning, but not towards the end, and that's where it counts.
The Packers are a 7.5 point favorite.
Right.
So, Mike, your
Yikes.
prediction was that pro Browns? Okay.
Yeah,
And Dan,
it was
24-20?
Browns win.
24-20. Is that what you said?
24-21.
24-21. Dan, what were you at? Or you
at-
haven't yet?
I think 31-24. I think
Browns?
I think, and I've been wrong, half the time. So, don't go by me, but I'm hoping that if we can score 31 points, we have a shot. We have a legitimate shot. Then it's a question of the defense. If we score 18 or 19 points, forget it. I mean, Rodgers is going to score more points than that. It's just inevitable. So we got to score points.
Mike, what's your prediction? Then we'll do the drawing here.
So I'm going to go with this school of thought. I feel that the Packers had Christmas at home. They're a little laxed. They're feeling good about themselves, and they are expecting a cakewalk. I think Baker is healthier. I think he comes out with something to prove. I think the offensive line holds up like they did. I think last week, if you have Baker back there, even with the being ravaged by COVID, if at least he would have been back there, I think you still win that game. And I think this is going to be a slugfest that Green Bay didn't think that they were going to get into. And I think the new kicker puts it through the uprights, and you go home 33-30, and it's a new season.
Good. Nice.
Yeah, we'll take it.
And I knew you would like that, Dan.
All right. Let's go ahead and pull the drawing. 30 people. Let me refresh, make sure we're good. All right, 30 are in. Contest ended. No winner has been randomly selected. Let's randomly select a winner. Boom. DCov 24. DC Ove 24. I don't know. Whatever you want to say. DC, you might have won before. I don't know. Maybe not. I'd have to go back and look to see the previous winners, but DCov 24, congratulations, you win the shirt. John, just confirm that we have his contact information and his shirt size, and congratulations. If we win, we'll be giving away a mug on Wednesday. We will be back at probably like 7:15ish, whenever the game ends, whatever. We'll do a post-game show, and we'll be wrapping up Christmas. So with that being said, I will tell you this. It's going to be fun. Prime time Christmas Browns.
Right.
Go Browns.
Go Brownies.
Go Brownies.